So, hello learners, hope you all are fine. And every day we are talking about English speaking, communication skill, and personal growth. So, there is a amazing website which I got, and you can read lots of things about English speaking. So, this is a website talkenglish.com. Talkenglish.com. So, today we are going to learn about the vocabulary. Yes, so English vocabulary. We are going to know lots of things about English vocabulary and just let's understand. So how many words do you need to know in English? Yes, most of the time we think how many words we need to know in English. This is a very common question and it varies depending on your goal. Yes, absolutely. It varies on depending on your goal. For what is the purpose? What is the goal? Why you want to learn English? So because talkenglish.com, this is a website, talkenglish.com focuses on speaking, and the vocabulary presented in this section will be the most commonly used words in English. They are going to present about the vocabulary and very simple vocabulary they are going to use. So there are 4 points which is so important. There are roughly 1 lakh word families in the English language. Yes, there are 1 lakh word families in English language. And the second point, a native English speaking person knows between 10,000 words uneducated person and 20,000 word educated person word families. Yes, so a native English speaking person knows between 10,000 uneducated person and 20,000 educated person. They knows word families. And the third thing, Professor Paul Nation found that a person need to know 8,000 to 9,000 word families to enjoy reading book. We need to know 8,000 to 9,000 word families to read or to enjoy book. And the fourth thing is studying heritage language learners reveal that a person with a vocabulary size of 2,500 passive word families and 2,000 active word families can speak a language fluently. Yes. So what we have to do, we need to know 2,500 word passive word families and 2,000 active word families. Need to know to speak English fluently. And now we can just ask what is passive word families and active word families. What is passive word families and active word families? Hello, what is active word families and passive word families? Let's check what is this. Active word families and passive word families. So let's understand what is active word families and what is passive word families. So how active word families and passive word families are not standard linguistic terms. It's possible that this is a concept used in a specific context or field to study. However, based on that term active and passive, here is a possible interpretation. Active word families, these could refer to word families that are frequently used and readily come in mind when speaking or writing. These might include common verb like run, eat or think and their related forms running, eating, eaten or thought. Passive word families, these might refer word families that are less frequently used or require more efforts to recall. Yes, this might include more specialized or technical vocabulary or words with less common suffix or prefix. Run, eat, think. And passive word, yes, active word families, they are we are habitual with these words, and passive word families we are not habitual and we don't know, like equivocate, obfuscate and supercilious. It's important to note that this is just one possible interpretation of terms, active and passive word families. Yes. So they explained there like active word families and passive word. So 2500 word passive word and active words 2000 word. 2000 active word families. 2000 word normal word, if you know, you are going to speak English. Many people do not know what a heritage language learners is. Let's say a person from Mexico moves to the US at the age of 5. The person knows basic Spanish and it is fluent for a 5-year-old, but eventually English will become dominant. This person whose first language is Spanish actually does not know many Spanish words and must study Spanish to retain it, because they grew up for 5 years speaking Spanish. They are different type of language learners. This type of person is considered a heritage language learner. Yes. So good views. If your goal is to speak English fluently, you are not required to study 10,000 words. 2000 is enough to get you started. Yes, we need to know 2000 words to speak English. Here is another list of things to consider before studying vocabulary. Before studying vocabulary, understand the difference between each word in a word family. By doing so, you will be able to understand how to use words more easily. Or a word family is scrapping of words derived from the same base. For example, active or actively, activities or activity are all in the same word family. And the second thing, there is a difference between passive vocabulary and active vocabulary. Passive vocabulary is used in reading and listening. Oh, we got our answer. The difference between the active vocabulary and passive vocabulary. Passive vocabulary is used in reading and listening. Reading and listening. Passive vocabulary used. Where you are receiving information, active vocabulary is used in writing and speaking. Active vocabulary. Passive vocabulary used in reading and listening, and active vocabulary is used in writing and speaking. Writing and speaking, yes, active vocabulary. And in reading, and you have time to think. If you want to be fluent, you don't have time to think, because the definition of fluent is to speak smoothly and easily. Yes, so these are the some information about the words or vocabulary. There are lots of more information, but I'm not going to cover it, because yes, we can cover now 2 points more. So your goal should be to increase the depth of your vocabulary knowledge instead of the breadth of your vocabulary knowledge. There are many English learners who knows 8,000 words, but they cannot speak a single sentence. On the other hand, there are people who know only 2,000 words and they can speak English. They can speak fluently. The difference is how deeply you know a word. Knowing 10,000 words passively will not help you with speaking. Instead, focus on learning the first 2,000 words deeply. And learning vocabulary by memorizing the definition in your native language is an inefficient way to learn words. Rather, reading is the best way to increase your vocabulary. Learn words by seeing the word in sentence. You can look up word in a dictionary, but study them in sentence, not the word itself. Yes, this is so amazing technique. And the vocabulary word is the list below were created by extracting word from dialogue, totaling more than 20 lakh 50,000 words. The only word to make it into the top 2,000 words were those that were present in one. The British National Corpus top 300 words. 2. The corpus of contemporary American English top 5,000 words. And 3. The 3,000 most frequently spoken word from longman communication. Yes, 3000 most commonly spoken word. Before you start studying, watch this video to learn how to study and improve your English vocabulary. If you had to choose the first 22,000 words to learn, and the list below is very accurate. The number next to the line is the actual number. Top 2000 English vocabulary word used in speaking. Out of 2265 words in this list, a total of 1867 word families were present. Top 2000 word families. Yes. So there are words which we got. So I hope you got some valuable information in this video. And yes, now we can just stop this video and we are going to just learn. Thank you.